My name is okay. Hello. My name is Eugene, and this is Streetwear Night Live, a blog in video form. I'm back. I don't know if I'm back yet, but I wanted to do a video for all the OG SNL viewers. You guys remember me from streaming on Twitch once a week. All right, talking about the latest in streetwear culture. No, I'm like no, all garbage. Next. A lot of people have been asking me where the hell did it go? Is it gonna return? And the answer to that is I don't know. One of the topics that I wanted to discuss was my favorite shoes of 2018. This isn't gonna be your classic, all my favorite shoes are from the Off-White 10 collection. Now, after reading a lot of blogs and their top 10 or top 40, top 62 list of best shoes of 2018, I kind of got to thinking like, I should make my own list because, you know, I have a blog. You can check it out here. Now, this list isn't necessarily 1 to 10 best to worst. This is just a random pair of shoes that I like that dropped in 2018. Now, the first shoe I wanted to talk about was the size exclusive Vans Old School Patchwork. Caught my attention because of the 15 different patterns that featured on the actual silhouette. Salmon toe box was sick, lots going on, but it was nice. There's only like a week or so between the announcement and the actual release date, so I thought that the hype wasn't going to be crazy. Now, the shoe actually released with only 600 pairs worldwide through the Size app, and I figured, okay, you know, because it's a European release, you know, maybe us Canadians or whatever might get lucky, it might fly under the radar. I was wrong completely. This, first of all, when I loaded up, there was a countdown meter on the actual app, and when the countdown went to 0, it refreshed the page to show you the actual shoes with all of the sizes available, and about 9 sizes were already sold out. Like, mine were gone. I stayed up the whole night because I remember I was telling my friend, I was like, yo, I'm not gonna go to sleep, I'm just gonna stay up because it's at 3 in the morning. I'm already up, it's already like, you know, 1. I'm just gonna wait. Ended up taking the L. Then I was gonna, you know, rage buy them on resale, but then they were going for about 700 or 650. I think I might be completely wrong. To this day, I still haven't even gotten a pair. Now, up next is a shoe I actually own, is the Travis Scott Jordan 4 Cactus Jacks. Now, this is kind of out of my comfort zone because I never owned a pair of Jordan 4s before. I was gonna sell this originally, but then I decided to keep them, hang on to them. Travis Scott is one of my favorite artists. And I ended up recently going to go see him live at Toronto. And I ended up wearing these bad boys. So now it's just kind of like, it has a memory, right? So I can't sell these now. What's surprising to me is that this shoe hasn't creased yet. Now, a lot on the toe box, you'll see that there's going to be creasing of some sort after, you know, 1 or 2 wears. But this shoe actually holds up pretty well. Now, when I've been wearing the shoe, I've noticed that the crease will show, but afterwards, you know, if you put it away, whatever, the crease kind of goes away. So that's kind of dope. I recommend you know, pair it with some baggy pants. I wear these with camo pants a lot, like camo cargo pants. Don't wear these with jeans, in my opinion. I mean, you can do whatever you want, I don't care. But I'm just saying, like, they kind of look fugly with skinny jeans or like some sort of straight pant. You gotta go baggy, right? Now, the next shoe that I was a big fan of, unfortunately, I did not end up getting for whatever reason. I think I was broke at the time, was the Nike Comme des Garçons Air Moab collaboration. Comes with 2 different colors, black and white. I was a big fan of this shoe. Kind of reminded me of the Desert Rat Yeezy. Just the way, and now people are going to be like, well, it doesn't look anything similar. I know it doesn't. It just kind of reminds me, just based of the materials that were used. It looks like a, you know, very affordable high fashion sneaker. It only retailed for like $240, I think, or 300 bucks or something like that. Don't know why I slept on it. Dope shoe. Probably I'm gonna have to take a look what it, you know, what it resells for, because I'll definitely need to cop for maybe, you know, the summer. These will pair up really sick with shorts, even though my, you know, legs are really skinny, but doesn't matter, you gotta flex. Now, it wouldn't be a top 10 list or no, whatever, my favorite shoes without an Off-White in there somewhere. Now, I know I said that there's not gonna, you know, this list isn't about the Off-Whites, although that may be the case. There's still one silhouette that I was a big fan of, and that was the Nike Blazer. Don't get me wrong, Jordan 1 is, you know, huge. It was a great collaboration. You know, there's a lot of different variations of the 10 that were great, but mostly I was a big fan of the Blazer. Now, unfortunately, I striked out on the first colorway, the white. Got lucky on the spooky pack, and I ended up getting both pairs. Ended up actually selling both because at the time I go through these stages where I kind of wear shit and then I'm like, okay, I hate everything in my closet, I need to sell things. So I kind of sold them on the whim. I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this money to buy other stuff, and then I ended up, don't know what I was doing with the money. I don't really regret selling it because although they do look sick and they are very comfortable shoes. And I was excited to beat them up because all off-white shoes, in my opinion, look really dope once they're beat up, like stepped on, whatever. You know, I kind of regret selling them, but at the same time, I don't. Like, the off-white hype was kind of like killing me in the sense of that there was a new release every other week nearing the end of 2018. And that was kind of killing my vibe. Like, luckily, Virgil just announced that he's completely done with the 10. Like, thank God. And hopefully he'll be using, you know, creating new models maybe for Nike, or maybe he'll go to fucking Adidas. Who knows?
What?
Now, the next shoe I actually bought, and it was actually today that I got it, was the Yeezy 700 version 2 Statics. Now, I wanted the 700 since the first colorway came out, and I ended up catching an L on raffles. So shout out to all the, you know, raffles in Toronto for not hooking your boy up. I'm weird in terms of Yeezys. Like, I've had the Desert Rats. I don't fuck with the 350s at all. The 700s is really dope though. Now, the shoe does look like a jet ski. You know, we're water boys now. The only complaints that I really have is the fact that the lacing system on this shoe is kind of weird. And what I mean by that is that the actual quality of the laces suck. And when you tie them up, they look awkward. The only other issue I have is after literally wearing them for about half an hour outside, they started to crease. It's kind of weird compared to, let's say, the Travis Jordan 4s that, you know, I've worn multiple times and they haven't creased at all. I was hoping for this shoe not to crease. But that being said, is that I love to beat my shoes up, so I actually don't really mind the fact that it's creasing so quickly. If you're a person who loves to keep their shoes on ice in a sense, and like, you know, wanting for them to be clean all the time, this isn't going to be the shoe. This one is going to like wear out really quickly. So in that sense, I'm kind of glad, because I've been excited to beat the shit out of these, right? I kind of want to skate these. I'm not going to, probably. Well, you know what? Never say never. But that being said, definitely one of my favorite pickups of the year. I'm glad that I ended up getting a pair. Up next is the Undercover Nike React Element 87. Now this shoe, if you follow my Twitter, I have mixed feelings for. Now the original collaboration, the Undercover collaboration, was dope. This is the first time we saw the actual 87 model being introduced. The colors that were shown were way better than the final version of the collaboration that ended up being released. Not sure why they scrapped a few colors. It is what it is. I took the L on the shoe, of course. Not super salty about it. And the reason as to why I'm not salty is that Nike ended up doing what they do best. They milked it completely by releasing so many different colorways. And then they created a cheaper version of the Element 55. They flooded that to multiple colorways. So they kind of killed the hype for me completely. And what's interesting that a lot of websites gave Nike React Element 87 the shoe of the year, the model of the year. Yeah, I'd say, like, I want to agree with that. I just keep in my back of my head, I'm just like, I wish they didn't kill the shoe completely with so many different colorways. Like, yes, it's more available to, you know, to us to buy and to rock, etc. But it feels like it's like almost like a rush run in a sense, right? It's just unfortunate that Nike wanted to do that. It was a great model, but for me, it's kind of, I'm exhausted to see it every other week. Now, the next shoe is, you probably didn't even hear about it unless you follow my blog, then I talked about it pretty often, is the Sean Pablo Converse Pro model. Surprisingly enough, gets the most attention when I'm outside. Like, people love this shoe for whatever reason. Now, they ask me every single time, like, yo, did you draw on these? And I can't take the credit. I always say no. I can't take the credit. But this is one of my favorite shoes of the year. Love the way it looks beaten up. Like, I haven't skated these, but like I've ridden the board on them. They're cool. They have little detailing all over them. It's in 3 different colorways, or 4, I believe, unless I'm mistaken. I know there was a pink colorway that released only at Supreme. And for those who don't know who the fuck Sean Pablo is, pro skater for Supreme, rides for Converse. They gave him a pro model. That's what it is. Really nice shoe, very comfortable. I'm glad that they didn't do the Chuck Taylor 70, because I find that it's kind of too sturdy in a sense, where this one is on the Skater Pro model. I was actually surprised that it ended up being, it was going for around $250 USD resale after retailing for 80. I was like, damn, like this is a come up. But I decided to keep it. I'm glad I did, because this is one of my favorite shoes. I'm beating it up every other day, wear it a lot, goes with a lot of outfits, straight pants, baggy pants, whatever. Now, since we're speaking about Converse, I gotta say that another one of my favorite shoes that I'm kind of upset that I didn't get was the Brain Dead Converse collaboration. Now, big fan of this shoe. Love the fact that it's multi-patterned. You have leopard print, you have camo, you have, what else? You have the American flag, zebra print, brain dead rubber logo on the side is super sick. The polka dot tongues. I wasn't a big fan of the wording on the soles, but like, you know, I understand that's like the hype thing right now, or was for 2018, writing on shit. That's a very minor detail that I can look past. I was surprised at how hyped this shoe ended up getting. Like, very under the radar. I tweeted about it, didn't get a lot of attention. I asked around and people were kind of like, yeah, like, I don't know, like, it's okay. Like, some people were like, yeah, this is hype, but it didn't seem like it was gonna be a crazy drop. So I was like, okay, you know what, I'm not stressing. There's a few stores in Toronto that actually got stock, and by the time I got around to trying to get them, they were all sold out within moments. Like, people were lining up for these. So I was like, oh, like, the hell, man, I wanted to get these, especially because I was on such a high from the Sean Pablo Converse. Super dope shoe, not super expensive on a resale. Would recommend it. Would go with a lot of fits. It's one of those staple item pieces where you're gonna be wearing like black or white colors, nothing too crazy, because you don't want to take away from the shoe. Now, this one is a little bit controversial in terms of my wardrobe style. The acronym Nike Air Presto Mid, the colors are really great. Acronym really knows how to execute a collaboration. This shoe ended up being re-released a bunch of times. Like, it retailed around 200 bucks. And I think resale was like 250, 260 or something. Because I know one of my friends ended up getting a pair from GOAT for like 235. And then it got stolen. But GOAT actually ended up refunding him the whole price without any like problems. So like, shout out to GOAT. If this isn't a sponsored ad or anything like that. I've actually never used GOAT myself, but respect that. I was surprised that they actually refunded my friend for the stolen shoe. 3 different colors. You got the pink and the light blue, the yellow with the black, and then the gray. My personal favorite was probably the yellow, the neon yellow, although the pink one is really cool. Again, not really my style, but I do appreciate the way it looks. Like, it's a really dope shoe. Like, you can pair this off with like, you know, some sort of cargo pant, but this is more about like a tech vibe. So if you're a tech head, this is all for you. And last but not least, the Jordan 1 Union collaboration is probably one of the hottest collaborations to close off 2018. This is a shoe I kind of slept on originally. Wasn't really interested in it at the beginning, that's a big problem of mine. I was getting tired of the whole off-white Virgil kind of nitpicking that a lot of brands and a lot of collaborations were doing. But then after, you know, seeing other pictures and, you know, seeing my friends wear them, I kind of got upset. I was like, damn, like, these are actually kind of sick. Like, the exterior stitching and like, you know, the way they meshed 2 different silhouettes together was really dope. Originally, I slept on the first release, didn't really care for it. On the 3rd restock, I ended up sleeping through my alarm. So I took multiple L's on that. A lot of you will probably be like, how come you didn't include the, you know, Jordan 1 Off-White or the Sean Wotherspoon? I like shoes that are not really liked by a lot of people. I also dislike shoes that are liked by a lot of people. Like, it kind of kills the vibe for me. Don't get me wrong, the Sean Wotherspoon was a great collaboration, but it's just like whatever to me. I don't really care. And that concludes my list of my favorite shoes of 2018. I'm working on a lot of cool stuff for 2019. I don't want to talk about it because, you know, I don't want to not be able to deliver if something goes wrong, etc. So when the time comes, you'll know. I'm going down to New York in a couple of weeks to go hang out with Aaron from Brigade for his event. So if you're in New York, stop by. It's only $5. Come support. Other things is that I've been working on a brand called MJC, just stuff that I wanted to make for myself. I've been talking about clothing so much, I decided to make my own. You realize quickly how difficult it is to actually make stuff. Like, now, don't get me wrong, it's not that difficult to go and print some designs on a t-shirt. I don't just want to make a t-shirt, I want to make other things. And if I am making t-shirts, I really want them to be high quality, or the print needs to be correct. Everything needs to be accounted for, so it's just taking me time. One of the things I am working on is a tote bag. This is a sample, and it's not going to be like anything. Well, I just love tote bags. I'm not going to go into detail right now. If you're interested in checking out more, go follow the Instagram for it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I don't know when I'm going to be back. Smash that motherfucking like button, or don't. I don't care. I don't really know how to end this, so I'm just going to end it now. Thanks.